Hello and welcome to Goodwood, a little bit later than we originally expected. We've had a few technical issues this afternoon, a broken microphone for the organiser and a few small procedural issues. If we head over to the track, there's a few people in the pit lane at the moment with a variety of different liveries this week, and whilst we're just getting ready to go, there's a few people having a few cheeky practice runs. Oh, that's a very nice livery there for Mike Lear. So the format is the same as usual. We will run 3 timed runs for each driver, and they won't necessarily run in order depending on who's around at the time, and we'll see the results here as they come through. So we will just wait a moment whilst all this gets set up, and then we will crack on with the first driver. Okay, we are getting the drivers off the circuit, and then we will get going with the sprint just as soon as everyone's back in the paddock. So that's a lovely NHS livery there for James Herford. He's running a McGann. Mike Lear also running McGann with Bristol Motor Club stickers. Right, so the first driver is on track. This is James Herford in his NHS liveried Megane. James is the 2017 Vincenzo & Sons MX-5 Class A champion. So he's just coming to start his first timed run. Right, so here we go then. Partway through the lap already. So, the money corner, the chicane. It's cleanly through the chicane. And what have we got there? So next up is Sandy Smith, 2016 Vincenzo & Sons MX-5 champion, nearly putting it in the wall on his outlap. He's driving an Alfa Italian as standard and running a rather nice paint job with the Motor Club stickers down the side. Good job, Sandy. So fast section of track here. He's a few tenths down. Oh, and he's off. Oh, it's big off. So back on track and off again. Oh, well, nothing if not entertaining for Sandy there. Right, so next up is Fanny Jr., also running a Megane. This is his outlap. Running a nice blue and yellow livery there. And onto the flying lap then. We seem to be struggling with times today, not quite sure why. Right, there we go. We're back with our timing now. So Mike Lear has just finished his run. We are struggling with the number of people on today and getting people to leave the pit lane. So Mike Lear has put his car top of the table. His Megane sitting there in a 77.5. So now we have Old Binner and Vanny Jr. both out on track. So let's just have a quick look at the times whilst James is coming up to speed. He's currently second by 3/10 from Mike Lear, with Vanny Jr. in third and Sandy in fourth. So James Herford crossing the line to start his second timed run. We're going to try and get through as many as we can quickly so that we can get more people onto the lobby for some further racing. So James managed a 77.8 on his first timed run. So James crossing the line there. That looks to be an improvement. So next up, Rich Stevens. He's yet to enter an event in the flesh, but he's certainly giving it a good go here on the PlayStation. Appears to be driving a Corvette in a lovely shade of purple. So to recap, we've had 4 drivers set times so far. James Herford has set 2 times and currently leads on a 77.2. Mike Lear, after his first run, is on a 77.5. Vanny Jr. is third place on an 80.1. And Sandy Smith is on an 87.1. And Rich is off at the first corner. Can he get it back on? And a second off on this lap. Pressure getting to him here. So here we go down the back straight. And into the final sequence, running a little wide there, and into the chicane. How's he going to manage this? Nicely done. Don't think he's going to trouble the leaders. That was an 87 there, by the looks of things. So next on track is Smith 0811. He's driving a Ferrari 458 in a lovely shade of white. So half a second down in the first sector, but a reasonably clean run so far. This looks like a solid benchmark first timed run for Smith 0811. So next up, Stig 500, running a very nice 555 livery on his Subaru. So Smith 0811 took a commanding lead there and is on a 75.9 on the first run. So Stig 500 then, coming to the end of the first timed run. Through the tricky final chicane. I'm sure that'll catch a few out today. It's not going to be good enough for a 75.9. And next up we have a final run for Old Binner, James Herford. He's currently second, 1.2 seconds off the pace. I'm sure he'll be looking to improve on that. So James coming round the back end of the circuit here on his final attempt in the lovely Battenberg Megane. So through the final chicane, running a little bit wide, kicking up the dust. There we go, it's an improvement by a couple of tenths. So that brings him within a second of the leading time. And that's James's 3 runs over and done with. So this is Sandy Smith on his second timed run. And off at the first corner, he's not going to be happy with that. His instant response, not quite what I intended to do. I think we all guessed that much. So it's going to be an improvement, but still not quite what he's looking for here on this run. So Nookie 76 now, first timed run. Sandy's run is an improvement there of around 7 seconds. He stays in 6th place, and Nookie 76 is not going to be happy with this run at all. So coming into the final chicane. And across the line. There we go, that's the first time run done. And we've got Sandy Smith coming out for his final timed run. He'll be looking to improve by staying on track this time. So here we go, on to the final flying lap of the event. Sandy thinks that his out lap was the best lap he's done yet, so let's see if he can capitalise on that with the following lap. This is a much neater lap by Sandy. So he comes down the back straight, heading towards the final section. And he's up by 8/10. Through the final chicane. Remarkably tricky corner there. Much quicker. He's happy with that. Right, so Stig 500 here, about to start his second of 3 timed runs. He's currently in 4th position, 1.6 seconds off the lead. Sandy's final run there was enough for him to put in a 77.9, reasonable improvement, and he's 2 seconds off the leading time. Stig 500 here, a couple of tenths off best. Looking to improve on that 1.6 second delta to the leading time of Smith 0811 on a 75.933. So next up, Charlie Fraser. First timed run. Stig 500 on the last run was slightly slower than his previous, well, second off his previous best. So it looks like some pretty significant sponsorship down the side of this Porsche. Supercarworld.co.uk by the looks of things. So Charlie Fraser into the chicane. Whoa. Just about making it through there. It's not quite going to trouble the times at the top, but it looks like a 77 there. 77.389, that's good enough for third place. So here is our current leader doing an outlap now. Clearly hoping to improve on a 75.9. Which is significantly better than anyone else has achieved so far. James Herford in second place, just over a second behind. So this is a very strong time. Yeah, Ferrari 458 looking fabulous in this sunshine. I don't think it's going to be an improvement unless there's significant time found in this chicane here. So I stand corrected, that was a 75.5, an improvement of just under 4 tenths. And next up, just about to start, is second timed run, is Vanny Jr. So Vanny Jr. coming into the final chicane. An 80.157 to beat and that looks remarkably strong. We have purple on the screen there. And it's a 74.5. That's a fantastic run. So next up, Nookie 76 for run number 2. So currently sitting in 8th position on an 84.4 after making a mistake on the first timed run. So a significant improvement at the moment. Lovely shade of red on that McGann. Definitely found the apex there. So into the chicane to complete the lap. It's not going to be a winning time, but it looks like a 78, which is right about the money. 78.4. Right at the tail end of the battle for 3rd place. Right, so here's Rich Stevens. He had a few offs on the first run. But he's on a 78.499 from his second. Let's see how he gets on. If he can improve by a 10th, that brings him into 8th place from his current 9th place standing. And it's all gone wrong. Final corner. Right, here is Stig 500, final run. Currently 2.9 off the leading time. Wasn't able to go quicker on the last run, so first run is still the fastest. So it's an improvement at the second split here. Through the final chicane. An improvement. So Stig 500, significant improvement into third place on that final run. Smith 0811 is now on the final run, trying very hard to regain that commanding lead that was held so convincingly at the start. But there's the best part of a second to find to win this event. And that might be possible. So a tenth faster than anyone else at the first split. Is this going to be a new leader? The middle sector not quite so good there. Got several tenths to find. It's not to say it's impossible. I think that's not quite enough. A 75.339. It's an improvement, but still second place. Brilliant job though. Tom Weaves, he has been very strong in our event so far. This is his first timed run in today's event, and running McGann as usual with the usual paint scheme, but this time running the rear-wheel drive V6 McGann instead of the front-wheel drive hatchback that he's been driving in the other events. So let's see what he can achieve. So here we go into the final chicane. That's very neatly done. There we go, first timed run complete for Tom. Charlie Fraser 4 now, just completing his outlap in his Porsche. From his first timed run, he managed a 77.3. This is timed run number 2, and it's just under 4 tenths to find to jump up from 5th place into 4th. But half a second will be enough for the podium. It's all quite close from third pretty much to ninth, in fact. 9 drivers having set timed runs so far. Running wide on the exit there, coming out the chicane. Right, so Danny Jr., final run. Is a huge off. That's definitely not going to be an improvement. That's going to be the end of that, but still leads the event by a commanding margin. So Nookie 76. Just completing the outlap for the third timed run. Currently sits in 8th place on a 78.4, which was set on run number 2. Had an off in the first run, so let's see if he can capitalise on this lap. So lucky 76 completes his third timed run, 78.0. So that's an improvement into 9th place. Wasn't quite enough to pip Sandy for 8th. And Charlie Fraser now doing the final timed run. Currently sits about 8 tenths off the lead and less than a tenth off of second place. The top two have both finished all three of their timed runs, so Charlie has an opportunity here to improve significantly. He's got a fair old gap to those behind as well, so sitting pretty comfortably in third place for now, and we have an improvement by 4/10. That should be enough for second place. Oh, remarkably neat through the final chicane, and it's an improvement. So that's a 75.1, half a second off the leading time. And we have a small off on the outlap here. So first timed run for Cox Racing. So here we go, coming up towards the end of the lap. It's not going to trouble the top of the timesheets. That's first time on the board. Next up is Phil Q for his first timed run. So Phil Q coming in to complete his first timed run, and it's a strong start. Cox Racing, the previous driver, was an 82.8, and Phil Q has slotted into fourth place with a 75.8. And next we have Tom back out for his second timed run. Currently sits fifth place. So it's an improvement. Commentator's curse. I was going to say it's an improvement. So it'll all be down to the final run by the looks of things to see whether Tom can break into the top 3. I think he might have bought this one. So next up is Cox Racing, which might well be our Bristol Clio Cup champion, driving a Renault obviously. So apparently this is the first time trying with a controller, which explains why he's struggling a bit. So, second time run. It's a significant improvement in the first sector. He's going to need to find a reasonable improvement to get ahead of Rich Stevens in 11th place, and that's a good start. 1.3 seconds up at the second split. And there we go, an improvement. So Phil Q out now for second time run. First one was an absolute stormer, straight into 4th place, which is actually the strongest first time run for anyone, and it's an improvement at the first split. Little wide on the exit there, that might cost a little bit. So he needs to find half a second to beat Smith 0811 in the Ferrari 458, and about 3/4 of a second to beat Charlie Fraser in the Porsche. How's this going to pan out? Through the chicane, neat. Doesn't look like it's going to be an improvement, no. There's one more run to go and an opportunity for improvement there. So final run for Tom here. He had a big off in the second timed run. First run was a good solid banker, a 76.7. Be looking to improve on that and improve on his 5th place at the moment. He's going to need a second. And he's 4/10 up on his best so far in the first sector. So 2 more sectors to find the rest of that second that he needs to get into 4th place. If he can find a further half second, that's going to put him into 3rd place on the podium. He's currently 2.1 off the lead, and there we go, 1.2 up on his previous best. Neat and tidy through the chicane. A second up. So that just about brings him ahead of Phil Q. So 75.718, so less than a 10th ahead. So back on track now. We have Mike Lear. Oh no, Mike's been helping out because our host this evening has a broken microphone, so he's been doing most of the organisation, and it's all going to be down to his final run to see whether he can improve on his 8th position at the moment. He's been leading the times during the week-long trials, so no doubt he'll be looking to be somewhat better than 8th place by the time we finish this event. So no improvement there for Mike. This is Peter O'Connor, the Bristol Clio Cup champion, in his trophy. Normally drives a Clio trophy, so the Renault Megane trophy is a bit of a change. So this is final timed run, and only his 3rd lap round this track using a controller. It's probably not going to be an improvement after that. Oh, what a shame. So that's probably going to leave him in 12th place on an 80.8. Down the back straight here into the final section. Got this very tricky right-hander here, braking and turning at the same time, and then the chicane, which has caught out surprisingly few people this evening. And it is an improvement by the looks of things. 80.792. So just 2 drivers left to set a time. Both just about to set their final timed runs. Phil Q. So Phil showed real promise in his first timed run, setting the fastest first run of anyone. And he's quicker again. Now, he went off on his second time run and was unable to improve, but perhaps he can do this time. Needs to find about a tenth to knock Tom off of 4th place, and if he can find half a second, he'll be on the podium. He's a tenth down at the moment. So let's see how he gets through the chicane. Neat and tidy, running a bit wide though. Is this going to be enough? It's an improvement. Three thousandths even. Not quite enough to knock Tom off 4th place. That's remarkably close. So, final car, final run, final driver, Mike Lear. An MX-5 driver in the Vincenzo & Son MX-5 Challenge. Drives an immaculately prepared Mark II with his brother Nick. Always shiny, always got some polish on hand. Mike tends to get faster as the events go on, so it's surprising that he went off on his second run. He's normally neat and tidy. Here we go, it's an improvement. So Mike has been setting the pace in the weekly time trials, and he's going to try and add a win to that here today. We shall see. It's 2 tenths down there. Needs to find half a second to haul in James Herford, his sparring partner in the MX-5 Challenge, and he's found a second. There you go, 76.6, which puts him into 6th place. Right, that's all of our drivers this evening, and Vanny Jr. has taken the win in commanding style from Charlie Fraser and Smith 0811. It's been quite a battle, especially near the top, and in the midfield a separate battle just behind. Hope you've enjoyed this event. We'll try and iron out the procedural issues for the next one. We'll see you next week at the Red Bull Ring.